In Chapter 6, we're going to be looking at experiments in the real world. A case study that I want us to consider is this idea of caffeine dependence. So researchers at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine studied whether some people develop a serious addiction called caffeine dependent syndrome. So they took 11 caffeine dependent volunteers and they had them take either their daily amount of caffeine or they were given a fake non-active substance for 2 days. They used randomization to determine whether a subject took their daily caffeine or the fake substance. So at least a week later, the subjects received the opposite treatment for a 2-day period. So if the subject had caffeine during the first period, they took the fake substance during the second period, or vice versa. They restricted the diets of the subjects during the 2 periods to ensure that they were not getting caffeine from any other source. They also were not allowed products with artificial sweeteners. By doing this, the researchers were hoping that the participants were actually thinking about artificial sweeteners and not caffeine, so that they were not influenced by their thoughts of caffeine. They were hoping that the participants were really not even thinking about the caffeine because they thought the study was about artificial sweeteners. At the end of each period, they gave questionnaires based on mood, depression, and the presence of certain physical symptoms that are common with a caffeine addiction. They also gave the subjects a tapping test, and what that meant is they had subjects press a button 200 times as quickly as they could to see if there was going to be a difference in the 2 types of caffeine or lack of caffeine for one of the treatments. Researchers did not know whether the subjects took caffeine or the fake substance, so that when they interviewed the subjects, if they were looking for signs of functional impairment, they were not going to be influenced by whether or not they believed that the person had had caffeine or not. So this is an example of a good study. And at the end of this chapter, you're going to be looking at strengths and weaknesses of experiments.